Celebrities are supposed to be people that you look up to, people who understand their roles and that they should be a guiding light of sorts. And yet more times than not, there are those who decide that lying is a better practice than anything else. And when they do that, bad things happen. Mainly to them, because lies can literally destroy careers, and it has happened more times than you would think. And it's honestly still going on now. So allow us to show you 7 times celebrities' lies ruined their careers. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 7, Ellen DeGeneres.
I am building the Ellen DeGeneres campus in Rwanda to save the mountain gorillas.
Alright, we'll be fair on this one. Ellen DeGeneres has not fully lost her career as of this time. However, a lot of people are not happy with her in a variety of ways, and it's honestly because she's been lying to people for well over a decade. You see, earlier in 2020, a swath of people came forward and talked about Ellen being somewhat tyrannical behind the scenes of her popular talk show, which was odd because the motto of her show is "Be kind," even telling her audience to do that when the show ends at times. But apparently Ellen is anything but kind. She's apparently cold, dismissive, doesn't like people looking at her or even talking to her unless absolutely necessary. She constantly disrupts her staff's plans for the show, and more. Now, Ellen multiple times denied this happened before making various apologies to her staff, past and present, and trying to move on. But in doing so, she lied again, because when she did her on-screen apology, she twisted the situation into her favor by noting that she wasn't the be kind lady as everyone said she was, and that she didn't mean for it to be her life motto, and so on and so forth, before joking about all those who had gotten hurt and more. Now, a lot of people were not happy with that apology, and the only reason Ellen is even still on the air is because she still brings in enough ratings and money. But she's got a black eye from this, and she's not likely to recover from it soon. Number 6, Anthony Weiner.
This is entirely behind me. It was when I decided to get in and we had this conversation.
Yeah, not all celebrities are stars of television and movies. Sometimes they're stars of the political world, and we got a big one coming up later. As the youngest person to ever win a New York City Council seat, Weiner's career could have taken a different path if he just kept it in his pants. No, we mean that quite literally, because he decided to take a picture of his last name, get it? And then send it to a woman he was having an illicit relationship with. You can put 2 and 2 together here, right? Well, obviously something went wrong. In this case, that picture of his last name got put onto Twitter instead of a private conversation between him and the woman. He tried to cover this up by saying that he was hacked, but that was easily disproven, and he became the butt of the joke for many because of what he did with his last name. He ultimately had to resign from Congress due to the scandal, and he fully admitted that he was the one who sent the picture. Number 5, Brian Williams.
I want to apologize. I said I was traveling in an aircraft that was hit by RPG fire.
Think about your favorite legendary news anchor, Walter Cronkite, Dan Rather, Ed Morrow, etc. What's the one thing that you knew that they had that they would never forsake? Integrity. They told the news, they told the truth, and they believed them because you knew that any lies that might have happened were unintentional and not their fault, and that they would correct it without fail. Brian Williams was a man who claimed to have that kind of integrity too. He was a major host on NBC and covered various events over the years. However, he once told a story on air about him being shot down in a helicopter with soldiers due to an RPG while he was covering the war in Iraq. A gripping story, but the soldiers who were there with him knew better. They called him out on this, and NBC launched an investigation that revealed that this incident did not happen to him, but to another helicopter and his convoy. Also, he went and lied about other things to help boost his reputation. He was fired and had to land on another channel, and he's nowhere near as popular now. What's worse, in his apology, he said he misremembered. Right. Number 4, Paula Deen.
So I'm so happy, and I'm going to show you just how easy it is to make it home.
What's worse than a liar? A lying racist. Famed chef Paula Deen was known for her cooking and her southern charm. She also made a killing with her dishes that helped people cook like her. She was one of the biggest things in cooking, and that was fine because she earned it with her charm and food. But a lawsuit later came out that she was cultivating an environment of violent, sexist, and racist behavior in her restaurants, which obviously is terrible, and she herself was accused of making racist remarks at African Americans and more. When things started to look bad, she went onto TV to cover everything up and lie about her intent. It's just what they are. They're jokes. Most jokes are about Jewish people, rednecks, black folks. I can't determine what offends another person. Except she could, and it's called using common sense. And a lot of people knew that, and they reacted in kind. Networks canceled her TV programs far and wide, and stores stopped selling her products, as they should. Number 3, Lance Armstrong.
It's changed. After the Lance Armstrong years, cycling has done more than many sports to chase down the cheats.
There are various athletes that we could have put on this list in terms of their lying ways. Easily the biggest examples are those who doped in order to get better results, better muscles, and so on. The Olympics, for example, is ripe with these kind of stories, but the biggest one by far is that of Lance Armstrong, because this was a man that at the top of the world, because he was a cyclist who kept winning the Tour de France, even after he survived cancer, which was not a lie for the record, he really did have it. He was an icon, but the stigma of doping, which again, to be clear, was heavy in cycling before he arrived, followed him around. And every time he was asked about it, he lied. He used various wordplay and certain kinds of tests to prove that he was innocent, and even called into places like ESPN to tell his friends there that he most certainly wasn't doping. Except he was, and he was eventually caught, and they stripped him of his titles, his credibility was flushed down the drain, and he was even kicked out of his charity, which also wasn't a lie, it did do a lot of good. The biggest thing that Lance Armstrong has done since was revealing a 30 for 30 on ESPN, where he happily explained all he did and why. Number 2, Donald Trump. Yeah, you're really surprised to see him here? You shouldn't be, because Donald Trump is arguably the biggest liar in the world today, and that has led him to being one of the most hated people in the world today. When he started running for president for the 2016 term, he banked on his brutal honesty, TV fame, and his "I'm not a politician, I'm a businessman" approach to wow people.
I'm not a politician. Thank goodness.
And guess what? It worked. In a shocking event, he beat Hillary Clinton to become President of the United States. And from that point on, he basically lied about everything and anything to make him seem like the best president ever. He lied about Hillary. He lied about some of his campaign promises. When the pandemic hit, he first lied about it being a threat. Then he claimed, "I knew it was a pandemic before it was a pandemic." He repeatedly lied about cures coming, and so on and so forth. And now he's trying to force a Supreme Court appointment because he's going to say, wrongly, that Joe Biden is rigging the election against him, so he wants the Supreme Court on his side so he can take it to court. Everything he does is a lie, and when he's out of office, he'll be nothing more than another old man yelling at the sky. Number 1, Jerry Krause.
Every hero needs a villain. So, The Last Dance is setting Jerry Krause up as the bad guy of the story.
Here's another surprise for you. As the documentary The Last Dance showed, the real force for the legendary Michael Jordan Bulls getting split up was not because of money, but backstage politics, and the head of that was general manager Jerry Krause. Krause was ironically responsible for bringing much of the legendary 6-time NBA champs together, but it rubbed him the wrong way that he wasn't getting more credit and that people thought Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and especially Phil Jackson were getting praised more than him. He wouldn't say it out loud, but he wanted to be known as the top guy, even making the infamous line, "Organizations win championships, not players." Which is true, I guess, if you really stretch it out enough, but that drove players like Jordan crazy. Krause said once that there was no backstabbing going on behind the scenes, but there absolutely was. He even told Phil Jackson before the final year together, "I don't care if you go 82-0, this will be your last year." How do you say that to someone? This guy has won you 5 titles at that time, and you say that? His lies and beliefs would lead the Bulls disbanding, and the rebuild of the Bulls began, and it hasn't stopped. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at the various celebrities, both big and small, who have lied in various ways, and as a result, their careers got destroyed in one form or another? Were you surprised by some of the celebrities that made this list? Which of these lies do you feel is the worst of the lot? Are you glad some of their careers got ruined because of their lies? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.